relative clauses, adjective clauses. I'm going to try to talk about some of the more details about how to choose your relative pronoun, and we'll make some sentences. So imagine that your friend says, I don't know, how can I study English? And you want to say, there are many websites, and on those websites, your friend can study English. But you don't want to use two sentences. You don't want to say, oh, there are many websites. On those websites, you can learn English. So we want to put those two sentences together, and one natural way to do that is through relative clause. One mistake, I'll show you how students tend to do it wrong. Hold on. So there are many websites you can learn English. There are many websites you can learn English. Learn English. Okay, there's something funny about this. These are just two sentences put together. There are many websites you can learn English. Or there are many websites can help you. Actually, this one's worse here. Can help you. This is just wrong because we've got two verbs and there's no subject for this verb, right? It's just stuck on there. There are many websites can help you. Now, I know it looks like websites could be the subject here, but it can't be both the subject here and the complement of this are. It can't be doing these two things in the one sentence. We need to make a relative clause. So, these websites can help you learn English. These websites help you learn English. We want to take this and use it as a relative clause. So this is basically all going to be an adjective that's going to describe website. But as we learned before, you can't put it before a website. In English, you got to put it after. So we need a relative pronoun. There are many websites, and the relative pronoun here, I recommend, is that. This is can be a subject relative pronoun. So subject, help you learn English. So there are many websites that help you, or there are many websites that help you learn English. Now we have an adjective clause with subject and a verb in it, and in this case an object. Okay? Now, you can use which if you want. In fact, in England, this is a little more common. But in the United States, we typically only use which with non-identifying relative clauses, which we haven't looked at yet. This is an identifying relative clause. It's a necessary relative clause because I'm not saying there are many websites in general. I'm saying there are many of this kind of website. So this is totally necessary, and usually the way we do this in English is just with that. But I won't mark it wrong if you use which. Okay, let's say you want to say something slightly different. Let's say you want to say, you can use these websites to learn English. So I want to have you in there. So you can learn these websites. So the websites is the same in both cases, right? So there are many websites. Now I need to put a relative pronoun here. And again, it's that, which is in this case going to be the object. An object relative pronoun. Then I can just copy everything else. That you can use, ... You can just stop there if you want. There are many websites that you can use. Okay, inside this relative clause or adjective clause, where's the subject? You. Verb, can use. Object, that. So one way to check whether you're doing this right or wrong is to look inside your relative clause. Do you see a subject? Do you see a verb? And if you need an object, do you see an object? If you don't have those things, you're probably doing it wrong. Let's look at another one. Let's say I want to say you can practice English there. The there is here at the websites. So there are many websites you can practice there. If you want there, it's going to change to where. So where you can practice. English is fine. This is a location. This is like saying you can practice on the website or at the school or in the school. So you can use where basically to replace there or anything in or at or on. Okay. So here, yeah, subject, verb, object might be English. And this means like at the website or on the website. Okay? Now, you could actually keep the at or the on, because if I want to say you can practice English on the website, you can keep that on, but here you need to say there are many websites on which you can practice. We never say on that, it's always on which. So if you use a preposition, then you're going to need to use which, not that. You do have one choice here. You could say, take the on and put it at the end, right? Because you can practice on the website. And in that case, again, in England, they like which a little more than we do, but we tend to say that. There are many websites that you can practice on. So you have three options here. There are many websites on which you can practice. There are many websites that you can practice on. And there are many websites where you can practice. And as you may know, just you can ignore this if you want, that, when that is the object, is often deletable. So in this case, you actually could totally just remove it. But don't worry about that. In writing, in academic writing, often we keep this anyway. Okay, one more I'd like to go over, and you can't see it, so I'm going to write it here. These websites, if you want to say these websites, quizzes are helpful. So there are many websites, and these websites have many quizzes that are helpful. I want to say that there are many websites, and then these websites. So when you're replacing, you want to capture the possessive here. That's when you're going to use whose. So whose quizzes are helpful. Okay? So here, again, this whole thing this is basically standing for the website's quizzes are helpful. So here's our subject. Okay, so there's some more pointers on adjective clauses. There's still more to learn about adjective clauses. They are hard, but hopefully this will get you going. And if you have questions, come into office hours or see a tutor. We love to talk about this grammar stuff. At least I do. All right, thanks a lot, guys.